Drake is a dumb criminal. What's up, world? Your boy Challz Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership, and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So, first and foremost, Happy New Year's, right? It's a brand new year. It's a brand new day. We all made our resolutions, and we expect things to be better this year. I wish you all the best, the most successful it can be, and the most prosperous year you've ever seen in your life, all right? Listen. I am in sunny Atlantic City, and this is perfect. This is a criminal town. This is 100% mob-related town, and I want to talk about this subject because I saw this morning or last night, like everybody else, that Drake has been hit with a RICO. And there are so many moving pieces to this thing, gang. I'm going to discuss this, but I am going to be here for a while. So get you an Arby's roast beef. Get you some Dunkin' Donuts coffee, settle in. I'm going to be here for a while because what I want to do today, I've listened to a lot of people discuss it and read the lawsuit, so you don't have to, right? I'm going to talk to you like it's me and you, like barbershop talk. I'm not going to break out the paperwork. I'm just going to try to have this conversation in what they call layman's terms, right? And this thing is deeper than just bots. I want to really have a conversation because what I'm seeing when I peel back the layers of this civil RICO is that Drake is a criminal, gang. And I know we like to make fun, and I'm going to use the word alleged, right? Because there are lawyers, you know, they like to sue, right? So all this is alleged, but it's really not alleged because the lawsuit pretty much tells you everything your naked eyes have seen, right? Your lying eyes. We've seen all kind of clips all year. People like myself, DeVille, your boy EQ, Ron Marksman, and a lot of other people, Jay Nolan, have been covering Drake at least going on a year and a half, almost 2 years since this battle started. And as the battle shifted, we started to shift into this stake, kick, Drake drama. And undoubtedly, Drake and Aiden Ross are part of a complete criminal organization, but they're too dumb to realize they're not supposed to say certain things. And a lot of things that they did are on videotape. A lot of things that they said are on live chat feeds that were clipped up and presented to me and you. And a lot of the stuff in this lawsuit, this civil lawsuit, is going to implicate these guys. Now, this is a large issue, gang, because this is really going at the gambling structure, which in and of itself is illegal when you peel back the layers. Gambling was started by the mob, right? You used to pick your numbers. The mob would make you, if you didn't want to get down and lay down, your businesses had to be used for their numbers running and this, that, and the third. And what people would do, they would bet on numbers. And if the number hit or what have you, they would get a payday. Most of them did not hit. That was the beginning of gambling, right? Numbers running, this, that, and the third. Numbers running is and will always be illegal unless the government gives you permission to do it. Therefore, they started casinos and they started a lottery and things of that nature, which took the numbers running, in essence, out of the streets and legalized it, right? Just like everyone was against weed and against this, that, and the third, against alcohol until they figured out they can make money from it, right? Who was that? Bob Dole, one of the biggest critics of illegal activities. When he got out of office, he ran and went into selling weed, right? Just there's no other way to say it. He started getting into the production of weed and he became a millionaire, billionaire, this, that, and the third off of an illegal substance at that time, apparently, right? So what a lot of these people do is they see something illegal and figure out a way to make it legal, right? So what we got now is gambling online. We got these gambling apps where you can bet on sports. All of this stuff, it is very touch and go with how legal and illegal it is. Now, what they've done with this stake situation, gang, listen, I'm gonna be here for a while. So if you're gonna rock with me, but I'm gonna be here for a while, right? And what we gotta establish first the criminal aspect of this organization. This is bigger than Drake. I need you to understand, all the people that came for the Drake conversation, we're gonna get to Drake. Skip ahead, right? You just want to hear about bots and Drake. Skip ahead. This is bigger than bots. It's bigger than Drake, gang. Drake is the linchpin that's going to bring these fools down. But you got to understand, this is bigger than Drake. What keeps coming to mind is there's a song by Jay-Z called Dope Man. And in that song, he says, We're not even going to talk about Murder Inc. because that establishes a deeper, darker criminal link, right? This is a deeper, darker criminal link than the bubble bath rapper. We're going to get to the bubble bath rapper. And I know I like to call him the bubble bath rapper on certain occasions, right? But as you look at this, Drake is literally a dead-ass criminal when you go into what's going on. You got to understand, I'm going to say allegedly, right? Like these are these conversations that'll get you in a boxing with, gang, but we going to have it because this is what I do. But it's a billionaire in Australia owns a company called Stake. Stake is a gambling, a social casino, a gambling company that uses coins and pairs them with a sweepstake coin, which is real money. So you buy the fake coins, which are gold coins or what have you, and it comes bundled with a certain amount of real money. All right, for lack of a better word. And so this site and others, all these gambling sites, they are operating in the U.S., but they're outside of the U.S. jurisdiction because all of them are on different islands. They're in different countries, this, that, and the third. So they call it a social casino, whereas you can go in and socially without losing real money. That's supposed to be the premise. You can socially gamble with other gamblers and get paid with these so-called coins. And so when you buy these coins, they come bundled with the other coins. So now you have the option to click a button to either use your fake coins, which people do. They use the fake coins, or you can use your sweepstake coins or your real money coins, and then you operate that way. So now you're gambling with real money. You curtailed and you skirted around all the laws of gambling because we're not using real money. These are sweepstakes or fake coins, and they can get real sweepstake coins with their purchase. So we're bundling it in, and if they choose to cash out a sweepstakes, I mean, they just want a sweepstake. It's a way to get around the gambling law. So they made stake.us. They have several sites like this, but they made stake.us to be able to operate and function in the US, gang. But the thing is, Stake, I looked it up. Stake makes about $4 billion a year, right? Off of this gambling stuff, this, that, and the third. They allegedly give Drake $100 million a year, allegedly. Now, that's small potatoes when you're bringing in $4 billion. All right, to us, to anybody, $100 million is a lot of dollars, right? But I got to establish, right? Like I told you, this is going to be the thing. Going to keep coming back to your mind: a deeper, darker criminal link. I got to establish the deeper, darker criminal link. Now, I just told you, Stake is a company making $4 billion, curtailing and skirting the laws of the U.S. states, right? And this lawsuit, this civil RICO by these two women, which is it's a civil RICO, but it's also it is a class action suit where more people can join. You can join if you gambled on Stake, and it'll push up the money. They're asking for $5 million right now, right? But that's going to go up the more people join. It's a civil lawsuit, and they're alleging that Stake is criminally skirting the system with an illegal operating app that allows them to make people gamble or allow people to gamble real money, which they're not supposed to do. And they found a loophole, and now they're doing it, which is exactly what they're doing. It is what it is, right? And a lot of these apps is gambling is everywhere. There's a lot of lawsuits. They can't pin these people down. Let me just say this: these lawsuits happen. They don't go anywhere. I'm just going to say that. But we're not here to pin down Stake. Your lying eyes are not deceive you. It is not. It's not right. It's not legal. But that's not what the lawsuit is telling me and you. We're here for the Drake story, the bubble bath rapper. And I'm going to get to all that, but I got to establish that Stake in and of itself, the existence of the app in and of itself is a criminal organization ran by a billionaire. Okay? Let's just start there, allegedly, right? So let's just start there. So there's a billionaire that owns Stake. There are two guys that owns and operate Stake. All right? So you may say, what the fuck this got to do with the bubble bath rapper Drake? So let me get there. So now, we are starting to establish that Drake gets $100 million allegedly from Stake. We don't know if that number is real or false. But what we do know is Drake gambles daily on Stake and Kick. Kick was created as a way to stream Stake because Stake Stake wants people to be seen gambling on Stake. Right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Twitch banned it. Twitch banned people from gambling on there because it corrupts kids. It makes people want to gamble. It promotes the the gambling lifestyle, which is not a good lifestyle for anybody to get into, okay? So the gambling lifestyle is promoted by when you live stream yourself gambling, you are in essence promoting gambling. So I believe it was Twitch that low-key, to some degree, limited or banned outright stake, people gambling on stake, because it's one big promotion. Because stake got nothing but money to throw at people to gamble on it all day, which they're doing with Drake. Right? So where Drake and Aiden Ross come in with this civil suit, Drake and Aiden Ross are being paid. The guy's a genius, gang. It's like the Mind Flayer. If you watch Stranger Things, the Mind Flayer sits back in the dust. You can't barely see his ass with all these tentacles, but he's pupperizing everybody to do his bidding, right? Drake is like Billy right now, right? He make the Mind Flayer is controlling Henry, right? Vecna, and Vecna's controlling Billy, right? So everybody's getting pupperized by this huge organization of Stake. Now, homeboy from Stake, he's sitting back pupperizing Drake and Aiden Ross to go out here and gamble every day. He pays them a portion, a little small break off. He has a whole team. Now, we've seen these videos where there's a Zoom call with Drake, Aiden Ross, I want to say XQC. I'm not sure if he's in there or not, but I know Party Next Door was in the call as well. Couple other straight up gamblers, gang. When you rub off the glitz and glamour of this Drake thing, you got to understand, this is a guy that's trying to get money, gang. All this other shit about rapping, yeah, that's cool. It's secondary. But this guy straight, Drake out here, gang, I'm looking at this guy right now. This guy's a criminal. Now, I got a brother, right? Allegedly, I got a brother. Now, my brother he would have loved Drake. My brother is dead at this point. He died a few years ago. He got murdered. But my brother is a 100% from the 80s, Volvos and Felines and Magic Jordan, Converse, all that. Magic Converse and Larry Bird Jordans and all, Larry Bird Converse. My brother is back, a hustler from back then. He would have loved Drake because my brother lives by these codes of only get money with people who get money. Right? The reason Drake does not stream with Akademiks, because what's coming out in this lawsuit is everybody Drake streams with is a part of the Stake family. And they all get money together. That's why he's not streaming with Akademiks. It ain't about being cool. He just don't think he's cool anyway. But it ain't about if I'm cool or not cool. He streams with Aiden Ross because allegedly, according to this lawsuit, they're kicking money back and forth to each other inside of Stake. It's almost money laundering, gang. They're using the tipping app. You can tip the app. You can tip each other. Excuse me. You can tip each other and not be regulated. So what they're doing is they have on record of Drake sending $100,000 through the Stake tipping app. You can't regulate it. No red flags, gang. When you send that kind of money, red flags go up, but not on Stake. Gang, listen, go back to what I said with Jay-Z. It establishes a deeper, darker criminal link. Gang, you got to understand what's going on, right? I told you, I'm waiting for some guy with some guy in a suit to come here and cut the feed on me. But it is what it is, right? These guys are sending money through Stake, the tipping app, the tipping mechanism, because no one can trace it. But what's going on, the dumbness of the video that I told you that Drake is a dumb criminal. He is a criminal at this point. But at the end of the day, what they're doing is they're videoing themselves giving each other these gifts. Okay? You got to understand, you need to explain where all this money's going, who gave it to you, where it's coming from. Okay? A deeper, darker criminal link. When you're doing these things, you don't got to explain nothing when you're using the Stake tipping app. Imagine how many people are sending money through that thing, money laundering, and no one can catch it. Stake is based in Australia, gang. Right? They don't have the same regulations and laws we got. So right now, Drake this dude out here about this paper, I tell you, my brother would have loved some Drake. If he was alive, he'd probably be one of these dudes talking about, Drake bring the whores out. Like, he would be one of these dudes loving this guy. Because my brother was what they call a get money nigga, right? So this guy is dead ass. He's like only really moving around to get money, whether you like that or not. At the end of the day, this lawsuit is exposing the fact that these guys are moving a lot of money. They're not being honest about where it's coming from. When Drake gambles, when he goes national, on these sites where they say Drake put $2 million on the Cowboys or whatever it is, one of these crazy ass bets. A lot of that money is coming from Stake because it'll have the Stake logo at the bottom of it. Right? Now, what we're going to get into is Stake being a part of this huge system is not by chance. They go out and make sure these people do their job. Like I said, those Zoom calls with Aiden Ross and Drake and whoever these other guys are, Party Next Door, those guys are minions. You have the guy in the middle of the Zoom call who runs Stake, telling these guys, we have it on footage, I did a video about it, telling them, you guys need to get your numbers up. You guys are doing okay, but I need you to do more to promote my site, right? You need to go viral. You need to do a little bit more. And a lot of times you see Drake do these goofy things. You're like, why would somebody in such a position do something so goofy, right? He went to Australia and they pretended to have a drone come up, and they were like Drake caught scam. They made it look like it was somebody that accidentally flew a drone up to Drake's balcony suite. And Drake, unbeknownst to Drake, he's gambling with the laptop open. He sees the drone. He starts to panic. Then he takes off the chancleta, throws it wildly at the drone. Now, when I realized it was fake, was the throw. When he threw the chancleta at the drone was right here, and he threw it over there. I said, oh, he ain't want to hit that drone. This video fake as shit, right? And they got Stake at the bottom. That is a promo. It's paid to look. The geniuses game because they try to make stuff look authentic. Meanwhile, you're bitching back and forth or trying to figure out, is it real, back and forth in the comments, and all it's doing is some little kid, all he sees is Stake in the corner. He ain't paying attention to nothing you're talking about. He's looking at the word Stake. What's Stake? And he goes to Stake, and now he's a gambling junkie for 18 years. Okay? So at the end of the day, what we're seeing is these guys get paid to promote a gambling site, which I told you is skirting the laws to appear legitimate, but it is not legitimate because it has over 100. Right now, the gambling industry, those gambling sites have over 150 lawsuits coming at them, civilly and otherwise, right? Now, at the end of the day, a guy named, I believe his name is Daniel Wallach. He's a gambling attorney. He was on Salute the Chick Smooth. He was on Chick Smooth channel. Go watch that. Go watch everybody. Everybody's breaking this thing down. If you want more detail, go to Jay Nolan, Rob Moxman, DeVille, the boy EQ. Everybody got something about this. Go watch them. Go check them out and get more details. But Daniel Wallach, the gambling attorney, is basically saying that this site is literally operating in a weird space where they can't be touched and they can still do this, but what they're doing is essentially illegal. This lawsuit that we just have, where we're talking about right now, this RICO against Aiden Ross, Drake, and George Wynn, right? AKA the chat nigga, Akademiks TV. I went a long way around. We're gonna get to that motherfucker. But end of the day, this lawsuit is alleging money laundering, is racketeering. It's alleging a lot of stuff. These are not real federal charges. These are these are charges so that people can get reimbursed. They want people to join this lawsuit. This is charges to say they've deceived us and we want money back, right? I want my daddy's records. They want their money back on some blind melon jelly shit, right? Now, end of the day, it may or may not work, but that's not the issue. What we're seeing is a deeper, darker criminal link. Drake is in an organization that has tentacles. It has a whole bunch of people out there gambling and bringing in new people, grooming, right? What's that lady, Maxwell, the Griselda, whatever her name is, right? What she was doing for Epstein, just grooming people, bringing them into the organization on some Vecna shit, right? Put the damn straw in their mouth and got them forever, right? So what they're doing is they send out people that have a social presence, like a Drake, like a Aiden Ross, right? At this point, this deeper, darker criminal link, he can slide back even further because now he got puppets, right? Now he got puppets, and now they're out there. Yo, I just did $100,000 on the slots. Now all these motherfuckers, top 5 and all these people, now they got stake on their shit. Now it's like a virus, right? Everywhere you go, everywhere you look online, especially on the DJ Akademiks TV. And a lot of stuff starts to make sense when you realize Akademiks, when you really peel back the layers, was not a Drake fan. If you understand, really, really paid attention. If you saw him on Everyday Struggle, he had no love for Drake at all, right? Now, Akademiks can't go a day without big up in Drake and trying to bring down Kendrick. My man, Big Kish, he did a video that I'm gonna get to. I ain't get to it yet, but he has 20 minutes of Akademiks completely dismantling Drake. It's an old video, calling his fans stands and dumb and like all this, like from it's every bad take you've ever heard on Drake is coming from Akademiks' mouth, and Akademiks literally is really calling this dude like a whiny light skinned clown. Literally. So how do you go from that to his biggest defender? It's money. Right? Now you do know that when the Drake DMs to Akademiks TV, so George Wynn, right? He's the guy, he's the third defendant in this lawsuit. This RICO, right? Civil RICO. It's not a real RICO, not a federal RICO, it's a civil RICO. George Wynn is AKA the Grand Wizard Chat nigga. He runs Akademiks TV page 24/7. He's disparaging, he's talking crazy and reckless. But when you understand the deeper, darker criminal link, he gets paid through this stake app by Drake to do that. We already knew that, but we didn't know that it was this level of money, right? We thought he was just a goofy nigga that loved him some Drake. But we realize now he's online all day on Twitter, disparaging K. Dot, Doechii, and everybody else all day because he's getting these illegal taps through the stake app to do so. And when they got that video of they scrolled through, somebody hacked Grand Wizard Chat nigga, right? Somebody hacked the Akademiks TV. I'm blocked, by the way. I earned that block. I'm blocked, by the way, because he ain't got time to deal with niggas like me because he got shit to do. So he can't be responding and looking at my shit all day. So I'm blocked. But when they went through the phone and they scrolled down and they showed at least a year worth of activity from Drake and Grand Wizard Chat nigga who runs the DJ Akademiks page all the way back before the battle, going back and forth about this, that, and the third, where somebody probably slowed that down and really read it. There's criminating shit in there. Okay? These guys are dumb communicating like that. But that's what it is. So now they got stuff in there. This lawsuit is only pulling shit that's right there in front of your face. It's not alleged. This is not shit that... Most of this shit, I have to say alleged, but most of this stuff are videos and DMs and shit that people have found in real time. And they just put it together. Right? This thing with the bots. Now, you got to understand what Drake benefits from... They're saying that the lawsuit says that Drake and Aiden Ross, but Drake more so, funnels the money through stake, through the tipping app, to George Wynn, a.k.a. the Grand Wizard Chat nigga. That's his name. I didn't make this shit up. He funnels the money to him. Now, George Wynn, who is a avid Drake fan and lover who stumbled into this multi-million-dollar thing just being a goofball, now he goes out and hires the bot makers. Remember they threw this guy to the wolves? What was this guy named Cujo? Some bot maker named Cujo. Drake had a lawsuit against UMG, and he said, there's a bot maker out there, and his name is Cujo. He gave these motherfuckers one Cujo. And if I'm not mistaken, Black. They singled on this one bot maker. But allegedly, according to this lawsuit, this guy, the Grand Wizard Chat nigga, right? It's the weirdest name ever, guys. Let's stay focused. He goes out and pays other people to bot. So now we got other people botting under the guise of the Grand Wizard. So now he's going through paying them with the money that Drake is allegedly, all this is alleged. He's going through paying them with the money that Drake is supposedly giving him, okay? Now, with that money, when they bought these things on allegedly Spotify, as according to the lawsuit, this gives Drake the leverage in the music industry because he has to appear to be the biggest thing in the game. When you bought these things, not only does he get money back monetarily, it drives up the cost of what he has to get paid back from UMG, right? UMG don't have to have any knowledge of this. Well, I'm sure they do, but at some point, it doesn't matter what UMG says. This guy can get the Grand Wizard Chat guy to go and bot, chat, send this money to whoever's botting. It ain't Cujo, because his ass on the run for the lawsuit, right? Whoever they getting to bot is running up these streams. Now, you get this big facade, because what it does is it opens them up to more playlists, which is more money. It opens them up to more discovery charts, which says, oh, this is what's hot right now, because it gets some more plays, gets some more money. Right? It has to open them up to a lot of things. Then they get to post these things. Drake, the #1 stream artist ever. Drake is the biggest artist of 2026. They gloat over this shit. The Zoom calls I tell you about on Twitter, those people now got ammunition. So now you're going to hear about it for 2 weeks straight that Drake was the #1 stream artist of 2026. It's all cachet, gang. It's narcissistic, and it's a big web, right? A deeper, darker criminal link. Drake don't really care about none of that shit. End of the day, he care about his bag. He got a house with a basketball court in the game. He ain't trying to be like one of these motherfuckers. He had to sell the house like Kanye. No, that's not going to happen. So now his deeper, darker criminal link with his billionaire buddy over there in Australia. Why you think he did a tour in Australia in the midst of the battle? Right? Dude said, you know what? Come get away from it all. Come over here to Australia and do a tour. And why you think he did a hissy fit and canceled them last 4 shows? He was irritated. It's hot as shit. Got mosquitoes over there, tired. They told me he had a 13-day wait. He said, you got a 13-day layover. He said, who? He said, you. He said, well, we told you about this. He said, I don't care. I'm out. Gas up the jet. Challz, get the jet. We out of here. So he threw a hissy fit, and then he was mad at the guy from Steak. It's like he gets mad at his authority figures, gang. It's like a kid that gets stomp his feet a little bit. He got mad at Lucien Grange. That's why we got the lawsuit. He got mad at the guy that runs Steak. He quit his Twitter. I mean, he quit his kick. He quit his kick and he quit his Steak. He threw his badge, hung it up. He just came back around Christmas time. But he had quit back in August because he claimed, and this is out of his own mouth, there's footage of this. He went in the chat, he went in the live chat and was talking amongst people that, which I'm still flabbergasted that he did this, and said that they weren't reimbursing him. But I think dude he kind of wants a little bit of sympathy and pity sometimes. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He gotta be a victim sometimes. So he went in this chat and was like, yo, bro, not paying me, da-da-da. And that's when we learned that he gambles first, then they reimburse him once he turns in his slips. And there was the discrepancy with the slip some kind of way, and the guy didn't want to pay him. So then he stormed out a kick. He logged off, and he dropped his kick and his Steak the same day. And somebody went, Aiden Ross says, this is all video, gang. I'm not making this shit up for the Drake fans like my brother-in-law who's going to say, he calls me Fox News in regards to Drake. He said, I can't watch your videos no more. Your shit's Fox News. Well, this is all facts. He went, some guy went at Aiden Ross's live stream and said, Drake quit. He deleted his account. Aiden stopped the stream and said, you're bullshit. And went and looked it up and said, damn, he fell back in his chair because he's like, he fucking finally did it. Because they probably been bitching, pillow talking and saying, yo, this guy, this, that, and the third. So he probably been bitching for months, and he was saying he was going to quit, and Aiden was probably talking him off the ledge for like 3-4 months. And he finally got mad and quit. So now, this is when you hire people, when you're pupperizing people that kind of got, they kind of like, wham, a little bit, gang. I'm just going to be honest. So what happened with Drake, he put a lot of exposure on these guys because their video and everything is a double-edged sword. Yes, he wants you to video, he wants you to promo, but he don't want you to let the secrets out, gang. He don't want you to let shit out that can get him incriminated. Now, these guys got a lot of money. I told you in the beginning, these lawsuits don't really go nowhere. But what we're learning is Drake has a lot of reasons to do these bots, and it ain't necessarily what you think. Yeah, it's to look cool. Yeah, it's to look fly, right? Yeah, I'm the dopest that you've seen thus far. All this shit, right? It sound good, and he can use that as cachet. But at the end of the day, a lot of shmoney comes back when he bots all those things because they got to kick it back to him, right? So when he bots these things, allegedly, when they bot all these things on Spotify, which it's all a criminal link, gang. All of these things. The music business was controlled by the mob for years. Created and controlled by the mob. It's a darker, deeper. Listen, gang, you got to understand what's going on. All this shit's dirty. And you guys are at home. You're playing your record sweetly and calmly with your headphones on. You're like, boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. You're whistling and you're washing your dishes because you're not involved with it. These guys are about big money, gang. This is a deeper, darker criminal link. Jay-Z tried to tell you on the Dope Man. Go listen to the Dope Man lyrics, gang. And so these guys with all this money go hand in hand, and they do a lot of things. Now, Drake just so happened to stumble into it, right? Everybody in the hood know what I'm talking about, like a guy that may not be, he's really not about that. Like, not the term about that life. He's not about that life, but he can get you some money. So these guys will work with you, right? Look at what happened with Tekashi 6ix9ine. A very treacherous gang, a notorious gang, brought in a dude 100% lame, had no business being there, but he can get him some money. And when you can get a dude some money, he'll sit back and look sideways and he'll let you make him some money. So they brought Drake in. They was like, I don't know, is he solid? He seemed to be solid, but he can make us a whole lot of money. Well, Drake got his whole cronies. He got his own little mob. This how criminal work. This how criminal activities work. You have a guy at the top. He establishes people in different areas, different sections, right? Aiden Ross is here. This guy's there. Drake is over there. They control their section. And then they hire people. Drake hired Party Next Door. He hired Top 5. It's a deeper, darker criminal link. And all of these guys are working for the mind flayer over here, right? So end of the day, we got a whole thing where it's a house of cards, but it's you know how they say it's too big to fail. These lawsuits gonna put a ding on them, but they ain't gonna stop them. State gonna be here. All the DraftKings, none of this shit's going nowhere. But this is for your self-interest to know what's going on. When Drake literally is a dumb criminal because he put all his exploits on video for me and you to scrutinize. Okay, so now we're looking at a guy that's letting us into his world, which is not that smart. It's not a wise thing to do. And but this is where we are, right? Aiden Ross is a buffoon, just as he's worse than Drake because he brings too much exposure to the whole thing, and a lot of the gifts and things are going to come from him exposing it, right? So this is why we got these two guys that are in the lawsuit along with the Grand Wizard, who's going to try to stay quiet, but he's going to keep doing his job. They're going to tell him, listen, just shut your mouth, right? I know you're new to this. You only like 2 or 3 years. You're only two years or so into this. He ain't long term like these other guys, right? And I know a lot of you guys will be like, well, why would Aiden Ross do this? He's already rich. These guys don't stop making money, gang. You said you make a certain amount of money, you're gonna do more. You're gonna do more to get more. They're not gonna stop making money. As a matter of fact, the more you make, the more you want. You get greedier. So they're gonna do more reckless things. So Aiden Ross right now and Drake are doing reckless things. This Grand Wizard chat guy, he fell into this because he's a goofball and he's a fan. But at the end of the day, he knows what he's doing as well. This body stuff is not going to work out well because end of the day, they're going to track that stuff and see where it was bodied and how it was bodied. This is going to come out. All is going to come out. All this stuff they've been talking all year about Kendrick bodying. This not where have you heard it other than Drake's camp saying that he bodied? But now we got several lawsuits directly showing you where and how Drake bodied this, that, and the third. He already in 3 lawsuits that dropped this year. So for me being the Fox News guy, I kind of know some things, right? So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is we just witnessed that they threw back the curtain on what in essence is a almost money laundering, racketeering situation with a bunch of clean cut looking guys that you would never. Let's be honest. We got Drake, who's half white, Aiden white, the guy that the mind flayer over there in Australia, he's white. So these guys are what you call white collar crimes, right? They don't look like the typical criminals, right? These motherfuckers don't look like DMX running up on you. These guys are coming in cardigans. They're laying in the bed with Bobby Althoff, just chilling, talking about Birkenstocks like nothing else. They look very, very unassuming. But those are the guys that make more money than the guys that you think is tough out here, punching people in the face and robbing people on the subway for their purses and shit. Those are small level crooks. These guys are some next level shit. And they're going to be insulated. Nobody's going to jail for this. I'm just going to be honest. They're going to throw a lot of money at it and you're going to see it go away. But this is just for you and me to understand what's happening. You got to understand when you have these conversations about Drake and bots and Aiden Ross, this, not a third, you got to understand it's a deeper, darker thing. They make hundreds of millions of dollars to go on them streams together. That's why he ain't on Akademiks stream. Akademiks don't gamble. Okay? That's Akademiks' one fault with these guys. If he gambled, Drake would have been on there 10 times already. Because when Drake goes on these streams, it's for a purpose. It's for the mind flayer, gang. You got to understand what's going on. He goes on these streams for the mind flayer. So when he gets on these streams, it's drawing people to what? It ain't drawing people to no goddamn Akademiks YouTube. You don't want to give a shit about that shit. It's drawing them to Aiden Ross shit. So Aiden Ross could slap steak on the shit and people could go and fucking like zombies go play steak. You got to understand what's going on, gang? It's a deeper, darker criminal link. So now that you understand that Drake ain't streaming for fun, gang. Okay? This stuff is for the mind flayer. And they flaying niggas' minds up every day. What we're seeing is this body shit, yeah, it's an interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation. But the bigger picture is why they're botting. Yeah, the cool points is cool, but they get millions of dollars when the money come back from the botting. You don't just bot to bot. You bot, money comes back from Spotify. It ain't the same amount, but he's getting a lot from it. He get a lot of cachet, social cachet, this, that, and the third, and he get to send his millions out saying, he's the best. No one can touch him. No one, the midget, this and that. This is how you get all the Kendrick slander. Because without the bots and keeping it, and you got to ask yourself, why would a guy that clearly lost a battle so horrendously and he took such a hit, why would his streams go up? Why would his streams go up? For a while there, they were down bad. So how all of a sudden the stream's going up? Yeah, nostalgia bombing, this, that, and the third, we get it. But to this level, to the point, he closed out the year as the most streamed artist in the world? Bro, you got to make it make sense. And listen to this. If I'm getting $100 million from Stake, clean money, then I could go over here and get a bot makers whatever they asking for. You need a new computer. You need a new server. You need a room of servers. Let's get the room of fucking servers. Put that shit in Acapulco. Let's get these bots up. So, gang, you got to understand, all that shit goes hand in hand. This guy's a narcissist. He wants to be number one in everything. And him being number one in everything, don't just stop at the Twitter post saying he's number one. It draws people to see what he got going on. Then they go follow him, and then they follow him right to where? The Mind Flayer. Right to stake.us.com and whatever else. So that lawsuit is about trying to expose it a little bit and get some money back for these people that have invested money and time into this thing. But the real thing is, this is a criminal organization, but the two dummies in the front, they bring a lot of good and a lot of bad because they give exposure, right? I ain't never once seen this guy, the state guy, on there doing nothing that's goofy. I don't see him doing nothing goofy. I see him at his computer desk talking about the next move, and then he logs off. So I don't know what he got going on, but I do see Aiden Ross beefing with Doechii and this, that, and the third, bringing up their social media footprint. All right? I'm going to leave it at that. I'm out of here, man. Listen, enjoy your day. Happy New Year. Appreciate you watching. Tap in, get in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, and basically, I'm about to leave out Atlantic City, man. It was fun, but I ain't fucking with this place no more. All right, I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, we go live on the What Show. We coming back this week from the holiday. Me, TJ, and Fliz, we will be discussing this. And we got a new video called This, That. It's on it's in my videos down below. Scroll back, watch it, hit the like button, share it, get in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. I'm out here. Catch me on the flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end. And then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking. And all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe and put some food in his face and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.